Hello everyone. If you like my video, please subscribe, like and share it for watching upcoming videos. Thank you.
Hello students, I hope everyone is in good health. Today I will continue the same lesson 2, that is classification of plants. In the last class I have discussed with the 5 kingdoms. Today I am going to discuss kingdom Monera, in which I am going to discuss its example bacteria in details. Bacteria belongs to the kingdom Monera because they are composed of single cell. Their nuclear material is not enclosed in nuclear membrane. That's why it is organized in a region nucleoid. So their nuclear membrane is absent, so they are also known as what? Prokaryotes. Okay, so you remember in the last class also I have told you about them. Now their cell wall, although not made of cellulose, but it is a rigid structure. Many bacteria feed by absorption of externally digested food, and ready food if anyone is getting, that means they are kind of heterotrophs, and which lives on other, and few of the bacteria lives on other living organism. That's why they are the kind of parasites. We will see now the structure of bacteria. Before I start the structure, let us discuss where they are generally found. They are found in air, water, soil, as well as they are found in the bodies of all living type organisms like human, plants and animals. This is the very important line, that they can survive in extreme temperature too. That means how much the temperature if you exceed, they can survive in that temperature also. And since they are unicellular animals, they cannot be visible without a powerful microscope. So today we will see that on the basis of their shape, based on the shape, there are 4 common types of bacteria we often come across. So what is the first form is coccus. You can see here that coccus are generally they are spherical or ovoid in shape. You can see here they are coccus are oval in shape, circular, that means spherical. They are attached in group also. They are also found in single also. That means they are isolated also and found in single also. Now coming to the next one, that is bacillus, or bacillus means what? Rod shape. These are also occur in single or in group or in 2-3. They will be joining end to end, form a chain also. So these are the bacillus. Here also you can see, students, they are the bacillus. These are the, some are single, some are group, and some are forming the long chain in the form of, and can form. And how they are forming the chain? One end joining to the other end. That means one bacillus will be ended to the other end of the next bacillus. In this way they will form the chain. Next is the spirillum. From the name also it is clear, spirillum means it is coiled, highly coiled. You can see from the figure here also, and here also you can see that spiral means they are highly coiled. Next is the vibrio. Vibrio means the vibrio bacteria we often find in the disease cholera, which is causing the cholera disease. They are the example of which bacteria causing? Vibrio cholera. Okay, so vibrio is what? Look like comma. That one small bacteria will be there. That means this will have one small tail behind it. Okay, so you can see here, that means they are having the cylindrical small body is there, along with a small very thin tail is also present, and with that they can easily swim. So these are the 4 common types of bacteria we find on the basis of their shape, they are diagnosed. Now we will come to the structure of bacteria. Since we know that the bacteria is the very primitive nucleus, not bounded by nuclear membrane, and has only the chromatin material in the center. You can see in the center chromatin material. Here also you find that the chromatin material are in the center. Now Outermost cell wall is made up of largely protein-like material. Outermost cell wall means the cell wall which is having, you can see here also, the cell wall which is having is the outer, it is protein-like material, it is being surrounded, and gelatinous and proteinous capsule. The capsule, you can see the capsule here, the better that the full boundary is there, that is the capsule. Now, nucleolus, mitochondria, plastids, they are absent in them. Okay, so please remember these three terms, nucleolus, mitochondria, you cannot see them, you cannot see here, so they are absent. So reserve food means the food for the bacteria which are stored for the future is glycogen. Please remember this name. Some of the structures with some of the parts you have seen that the nuclear material are there in the center, cell membrane is there just inside the cell wall. Cell wall is the proteinous and flagella is there. Flagella is the thin microstructure. Cytoplasm is inside. Stored foods are kept inside. Okay, as a glycogen. This is all about the structure of bacteria. Now, bacteria are of useful type also. Some are useful, some are harmful. First of all, let us see how bacteria are useful to us. First point, in medicine, making of medicine. Medicine means antibiotics. You must have seen when we are suffering from cold and cough and all this thing, and many diseases are there that we need some antibiotic to heal that disease. Then what happened? This medicine can destroy disease causing germs in the body. So, certain types of bacteria used in the manufacture of antibiotic. Some example you should remember, streptomycin we are frequently using for treating human diseases. And these antibiotics are used in treating many plants and animal diseases also. So, killed or weakened diseases causing bacteria are used in the preparation of, now this line is very very important, please mark them in your book also. Killed or weakened disease causing bacteria are used in the preparation of vaccine. So vaccines are used for what? Preventing diseases. Okay, such as polios. You have seen that we are taking the vaccination for polio, chickenpox, tuberculosis, TB. TB is not the TB. TB is T and B, tuberculosis. Okay, smallpox, and these are having the necessary vaccine for it so that it cannot occur to the body. This is one of the very useful bacteria that can be causing the antibiotic for this. Now coming to the lactobacillus. From the name also it is clear. That means it will help in curdling of milk. You must have seen that the formation of curd from milk, this is being used. Formation of curd from milk. Please underline the third line. It converts the milk sugar, that is lactose. Milk sugar is also known as lactose, into acid. Which acid name? Lactic acid. And because of this formation of lactic acid, giving the sour taste to the curd. That's why we don't get sour taste in milk, but we get sour taste in curd because of the formation of the lactose into lactic acid. Now, third is the certain bacteria like Acetobacter, fermentation of fruit juices into vinegar. You must have seen in the kitchen that acetic acid is there. Acetic acid is also known as, in common term, vinegar. Vinegar we are using for all the preservation, for making marination of many of the foods item and all, chicken and all this thing. Then all the fermentation of the fruit juices are also being done with the help of, because of this. So fruit juices may get fermented and change them into vinegar, and vinegar is a very weak acid. That is, acetic acid is the very very weak organic acid. Now coming to the next, tanning of leather. Like this, students, you will see various types of examples have been given. You have to remember at least 3-4 examples of each choice. Tanning of leather. Certain bacteria are used in curing of animal hides and skin. Animal hides and skins are being cured from certain bacteria are used in making them the curing of the animal hides and skin. Now coming to the retting of fibers. Retting of fibers means to make them soft with the help of the bacteria. Jute fibers. You know, jute fibers are used for making so many things, useful things are made. jute ropes, jute bags and all. So jute fibers, how will you are separated from and made softer by use of bacteria. Now coming to the very important, this 6 and 7. Okay, that is formation of compost and manures. You must have seen that nowadays it is being told that do not burn the garbage and all this thing because it creates the air pollution. So how it will be done? So we say that small hole and is being dug on the earth, and all the vegetable manures and all this thing, vegetable peel-offs, all this thing are being compost over there, and some soil is being given on it, so that in the future use they will be slowly decay with the help of the bacterial action and change them into useful manure. And you will be finding that those nearby areas of the soil will be very rich in manure and very good for cultivation also. Like this, you find many dung, horse dung, cow dung and agriculture waste, that all the wastage products of the agriculture are subjected to bacterial action and causes the decay, because decay is necessary. Then only they will be decaying with the help of the bacteria, and they produce and change them into the useful manure which is required for agriculture, growth and development of the plants. Now coming to the next, biogas and gobar gas. There are very sewage plants in big cities which were collected the human excreta. Human excreta means all the waste products that we release from our body, that's are in the solid product, that are the human excreta, is decomposed by sewage bacteria. Ultimately they go down through the toilet passage, you will see underground they are being collected there in the earth much deeper, and there the sewage bacteria decompose them into slowly they are being decomposed. Then by the sewage bacteria, the inflammable gas produced in this process and is collected for cooking purpose, and the liquid and the solid products are used as a manure. That means total thing is being used for good purpose. So, and you must have seen gobar gas is being used, and it is cheap also, it is pollution free also, and don't think that it is coming out from gobar gas that is full of smell. No, there is nothing. It has been totally decomposed and it is totally smellless gas. Okay students, now next point is some bacteria live in the large intestine of human being. Human being are having the large intestine, small intestine in our below the stomach. Then this large intestine of human being, one special bacteria is there, E. coli. So please remember the name E. coli, and this E. coli is the large intestine. This bacteria of the human being, E. coli, and produce vitamins. Which vitamins? Vitamin B and K, which are needed by our body. That means some bacteria live in the large intestine of human being. That is what is the name of the bacteria? E. coli, and they produce which vitamin? Vitamin B and K, which are needed by our body. Now some bacteria, please mark the number 9 also. Some bacteria present in the intestine of herbivores. Herbivores means which eats green plants, leaves, grasses and all, like cow, buffalo, goat. So bacteria helps in the digestion of cellulose. Now, so you can see that so many types of bacteria are there which are helping us in many ways. The second last point, you will see another type of bacteria is there, rhizobium bacteria, which is found in the root nodules of some of the plants. Which type of plants? Podded plants. Podded plants are also known as leguminous plants, like pea, beans, whose seeds we are eating as food. Okay, so those plants have a special type of root. The roots are normal, but at the end of each root, students, I am just showing with the help of a diagram. Suppose this is the soil, this is the plant, and these are the root. These roots are ending with a small bulging at the end of each root. Okay, then what is this bulging carries in them? They contains, this swellings contains a special type of bacteria known as the rhizobium bacteria. Then what is the function of this rhizobium bacteria? What it does actually, it traps the free nitrogen. It traps the free nitrogen from the air and convert them into the necessary soluble nitrates and nitrites. What is the meaning of nitrates and nitrites? They are the soluble salts of nitrogen. And you don't know about them, nitrogen salts are all soluble in water. They trap the nitrogen and convert them into soluble salts of nitrogen. Okay, students? In this way, the salts of nitrogen, which are known as what? Nitrates, and these are the very good mineral salts which can be easily absorbed by the plants from the soil. So you know that the roots of the plants, what is the main function of the roots of the plant? They absorb water and minerals from the soil. At the time when they absorb the water and minerals, at the time these nitrates which are getting water soluble and get absorbed in the soil, they get absorbed to the plants through these roots. And it is what? Plant is taking as a plant protein, because plant convert them into their protein. These nitrates are very good protein because the nitrogen is a sign of protein. Okay. Now with the help of water, it is observed that the bacteria provide food to the. Now this is the one of the point about the rhizobium bacteria. Now see another help. What is the another helpful bacteria is there? We see that bacteria provide food to the host plant, and the host plant in turn provides shelter to the bacteria. Can you see that the give and take process is going on? That means you help me, I will help you. That means the bacteria is providing food to the plant by providing, see, the nitrogen and giving to the plants, and the plant is getting that. The plant is healthy because it is getting the rich nitrogen. And what in return the plant is giving to the bacteria? It is giving the shelter to the bacteria, food and nourishment. Now see, this give and take, both are living happily together in the same plant. This kind of relationship where in two organisms live in harmony without any dispute, each benefiting from each such a relation. Very important line. This is here the definition starts. Okay, both benefiting from such a relationship is called symbiosis. The process is known as symbiosis, and the organism which take parts in this symbiosis is known as symbionts. Okay, so please remember this nicely and learn the definition properly. Last useful bacteria we come to know about the bacteria which are saprophytic. Students, I have told you in the previous, the saprophytic means which feeds on dead decay. So feed on dead organic remains. That means suppose any dead body of any animals, wild animals have been there, the remaining dead body is lying over there, the bacteria feed on them and change all the complex food material into the agriculturally useful nutrients. What is the agriculturally useful nutrient? What are the different types? Nitrates, sulfates and phosphates. These are all very important for which gives fertility to the soil, and that's why this type of bacteria are known as what? Nitrifying bacteria. So we have come across to so many types of useful bacteria. They are special. Some of the bacteria has been named also special. So please learn them. Some of the bacteria 10, 11, 9, 10, 11 are very special bacteria. Please learn them nicely. Now everything has a plus and minus. So here bacteria also has a plus and minus. So here till now we have learned about the useful bacteria. Now we will go through the harmful bacteria. Let us see how bacteria is doing harm to us. Harmful bacteria. First harm it does that it spoil our food. If we cook any food and keep outside for a long time, we will find that it gets totally rotten. Okay. Similarly, if we keep any food, fish, meat, vegetable, gets spoiled quickly due to the presence of bacteria. Any tin or packaged food should not be consumed after the expiry. We see no medicine, any food, canned food, tin food, all packed food. We always see any edible item. Edible means all eatable items. We always see the expiry date first. What is the meaning of this? That means you should not eat them or consume them After that, the date is over. Okay. Next is the disease. Bacteria causes disease. It is a very frequent one, very known to us. Many of the diseases we suffer also from. So this table is very, very important, students. You should go through them. Which are the name of the disease and which are the name of the bacteria causing them. Okay. So bacteria are responsible for some of the diseases, some of which are typhoid, very well known, leprosy, you must have seen many people are suffering from them, TB and pneumonia, cholera. These are some of the diseases name they have given you, which are the bacteria causing diseases. So please learn this nicely, this box along with the correct spelling. So students, I hope you have understood about the bacteria which belongs to the kingdom Monera, which is the first kingdom to come across, and bacteria is the very good example for this kingdom. I hope you have understood this. Try to read by yourself, examples and all, and keep studying and be in good health. Have a nice time. Thank you.